Greetings and welcome to my dear Gemini. Welcome. We call upon the good graces of Mercury to help us mutably change our perspectives and to be students, to learn through the energy of the third house. The third house is open. The third house is about communities, friends, as well as um, immediate travel, anything that has to do with mastery and the mastery of the mind, especially skillful manipulation through hands as well as the lungs. Um, Hopefully, with good grace, we can find some mode of appreciation here. I shall do for you a three portals reading. The three portals involve insights into different karmas that may be timeless or spaceless. These moments of simultaneity don't have to occur for you. Um, but if they do, please take it with credence and note that my guidance is for the light. Please, thank you. Like, share, subscribe, or dislike if you will. Be honest. Thank you. And also, I'm available for private readings. It won't be necessary, but if you would like, I can do that for you. The third house is open. First portal should now be channeled. Okay, Venus is either smiling or laughing at you for the time being. My dear Gemini, this has to do with the questioning of the mode in which you convey elements of romance to others or bring cups to others or bring cups to yourself as a mode of operation, okay? This has to do with creativity, pleasure, as well as the ability to sustain something and help it grow. Jupiter's watching over this as well. Venus, as I've mentioned. Therefore, there is a dualism to it. There's a fighting that has to do with polar opposites, trying to make or reckon with two different things that you have chosen in the past. These things essentially making the platform or the springboard for you to jump off of into the future, but it's very difficult for you to actually celebrate in this or relegate or to feel proud of what you have accomplished in terms of what you thought was actually good for you in the past. There is an element of truly letting go and letting be in terms of the energy of Venus. This has to do also with not finding very much pleasure in it. You're being called into a mode of reckoning that has to do with communities as well as the global sort of systemization of society in general. Society is calling you, asking you to be just, and perhaps you are taking your time in finding this justice. There also is a path here that has to do with the very types of love that you, or creativity that you offer out into others. The very container is being idealized, how you contain your thoughts or your love or your creative drives, and these are being sort of challenged or tempered in some sort of way. There also is a transformation with the very nature of the other, and perhaps others are transforming you in some sort of way you want them to. but you're not going to reach out to these others, at least for the time being. There's something about the very clothes you wear. This calls for a complete makeover of how you convey yourself in terms of what you are trying to do or what you are trying to produce in a creative way to others. Okay. Um, Also, this can involve modes of romance, excuse me, that are quite outdated or perhaps that need revision in some sort of way. Okay. The impulse of desire is causing you to make really closed boundaries with the past. Okay. Especially with anyone of a Libra complexion or Gemini or Virgo complexion. There's something about you and your Venus, as well as your seventh house, that may be going through a period of contraction, as well as in this contraction, a type of birthing of new ideas may be occurring, or miscarriage of old ideas. Okay. Um, and yeah, that's good for you. However, there is something that you need to confront that has to do with the mystery of tension, the mystery of friction with others. Also, something may be informing you in terms of your deeper unconscious mind that has to do with essentially a type of anger, okay? And this needs to be faced and challenged and not directed towards the inner self in order for you to truly thrive and to offer to others if you so desire. That's the thing. I think you may be seeking a mode of being or mode of doing things, but things are irrevocably changing in how you define yourself with others for the time being, at least for the month of January. Okay. I'm going to stick with this deck. It seems to be doing well. This is a 1983 deck from US Game Systems, the Royal Fez Moroccan Tarot deck. We're going to look into the mutability of philosophy. The ninth house is activated. Second portal is opening. First portal is closed. Okay. There's an intuition here, an intuitive hit, something that makes you want to push out your ideas, but then a sort of uh, um, a sort of patience is required in this. Something about your ideals when it comes to your creative impulses. These are being tempered in a certain way. You are becoming a student of these. Okay. It also has to do with novelty. There's something about what you're going through that may be very new. And because this is directly related to the ninth house, the house of devotion, the house of spirituality, spiritualism, but also dogma, there's something here about the inner child trying to grow and expand in the auspices of Jupiter, being like you are called to do such a thing. But as you do that, there is a dualism to it. There's a type of binary. Okay, one side dealing with truly moving in or into the energy of others, but then finding it to be a sense of tension. The other, more of really diving into the spiritual aspects, being informed by either eclipse seasons or new moons or potentially something that has to do with information systems. Okay, both choices, both dualisms have to do with the sea of information. Okay, the great sort of unknown being known, through totally feeling, through totally embracing your emotions. There's a lot of emotions in this, but these emotions are being purified either through friction with society or friction with others, you trying to stand your ground, expand in a way, and to be heroic in some sort of way. Okay, there's a movement from the 7 to the 8 of rods, okay, causing at least a sense of passion or false passion, something that has to do with intuition and the realm of the power center really being open up, in terms of your manifestation and your ability to stand by your own core philosophies when it comes to how you see traditional idealisms of romance pan out, how you see families pan out, or systems, or humanity in general, how your humanity is being challenged in some sort of way. There is something about you that is growing, and this has to do with the information that is brought through the inner child as well, losing that innocence, and totally being encumbered by a feeling of isolation on the other side, isolation and also spiritual knowing through isolation, by rejecting society, by being very silent, by embracing the alpha and the omega as well, by totally sort of withdrawing in a certain way, being silent, okay? Part of you wants to be really loud. Gemini, part of you wants to be very, very silent, okay? Introverted, outroverted energies here. And because of such, you may be you may be seen as a type of fool, and I mean that in the most kindest ways, or a type of innocent. And in this innocence, there is a way for you to capture or perhaps take a portrait of your own idealisms, how they are panning out in the external world, how you may be seen as very silent or detached on one end, but then also be seen as very traditional, and these coming up with the traditions of others, and these are being sort of set into a dialogue, okay? The advice here is to conserve your time and where you place, where you reach out. There's an element of you possibly embracing your inner nature, but also getting burned by the realm of dualisms, okay? By the realm of the binary. And this is just a veil. In my personal philosophy, and this is just a natural spiritualistic tendency, I tend to see dualisms as disintegrated, as something that is beyond a structure. That is where the reality lies. That's where union lies, yoga. And perhaps there's something that you are learning now that has to do with modes of unconditionality that are tied to your quest in order to assert yourself or to withdraw totally. And perhaps you are growing in terms of something that you cannot control, something that may be burning out of control, and this is an act of purification. Okay, your offers, if they are set out, if that resonates for you, if your offers, if they are set out, they may be seen as amateur in a way, but that in its essence is purity. Okay, and that's what purification is doing for you. I'm going to stick with this deck and we'll go into the third portal. I am available for private readings and donations are accepted. Otherwise, thank you. And thank you for your likes. Please like. Thank you. This has to do with the other. The third portal is now opening. The other is emerging. Okay, a significant other, and this does not have to resonate with you, But if it does, please take it with credence and note that this is from the light, for the light, from and for the light. There's a mode with the other that has to do with conservation, a secret that they have found in order to find a peace of mind that is seemingly independent, but also a part of the great society that they are trying to move towards. Okay, um, it's a dualism, and they're trying to be a teacher or a type of someone who's detached yet still a part of the system. Okay. Also, there's a conservative head state here that they have that has to do with the tempering of offerings, the ability to truly find a way and a method. Okay, especially when it comes to grounding themselves in realisms, in reality. Okay. At the same time, they are split because a part of them is also very quixotic. They want to take off on some sort of wild escapade journey, okay, that involves romanticism, that involves ideals that are heavily conservative in their romanticism, meaning that they may have an inclination to move towards something that is about the revival of ideas or philosophies, revival of modes of modes that have been sort of, it's like a revisitation. There's a revisitation energy here that has to do with the falling out of a connection, the jailbreak of a connection, being able to move against that which has that has been set free in the past in some sort of way. There's a strong need for them to assert themselves, but at the same time, this is in declination. This is in dissension. It's not something that they're supposed to be doing, but they want to revisit something that has been cast out by judgment as well, type of releasing of the devil's hold, of Saturnian hold here. Okay, so the 9 and the 10 are greatly elicited here in reverse. So this has to do with a very strict way of thinking, but also a very self-limited way of doing things, yet they still want to do it. Kind of like Don Quixote, he wanted to essentially, he didn't, it was against his own volition. I mean, he believed in old-fashioned things, okay? And there's an old-fashioned sort of player here that wants to do things in an old-fashioned way. They feel like they've moved on from a mode of betrayal or regret that they have caused or that they have received in some sort of way. There's also a very strong inclination for them to find another experience, okay? Whether that's through you or through a new cycle that is similar to what you guys have had. To relive the lesson, to relive the lesson is key here. And they think that this ties them to an element of society or a sense of status quo, something that's related to a familial issue. But there you have it, a portrait of someone who's extremely idealistic, and in this respect, they're regretting, or perhaps they feel like it's time to move. But as they do that, they may recycle old motifs that are their stepping stone, but also they're holding back in terms of what they are here to learn. Okay, what they're here to fashion. Hopefully this has helped. Hopefully, hopefully, maybe it didn't. And either way, I do appreciate your tuning into the channel. And if you found it entertaining, please like. I do appreciate it. Please take care now, and I'll see you in the month of February.